Hey everybody, it's Healthcare Sucks. I'm coming to you with a update of some action that was taken today. An Iranian drone made an aggressive move towards a US ship. I believe it was called the Boxer. I'm going to let you listen to this and then I'll get back to you, but things are escalating. Not just earthquakes in the Ring of Fire, but now action over there from the Iranians getting out of control.
In the red. So as we watch these stocks, General, I was curious your thoughts about the fact that we just engaged the Syrians in air-to-air combat, and this really is a turn in policy for us, and frankly, in events, military events for us there.
Absolutely, Cheryl. There's no question about it. You're seeing, and by the way, it's very tightly controlled. There's no county option for like a Navy F-18 pilot or the Air Force F-15E pilot that shot the drone down today. That comes directly from what we call the JFAC, the Joint Force Air Component Commander. It's a three-star general. They know exactly what they're doing. They pass that information through AWACS. Those pilots commit, and they're authorized to do it, but they have a lot of intelligence around it, and we're not going to let them push us around when they're heading towards the Syrian Defense Force, Democratic forces, which are friendlies. We're backing up some U.S. forces there. We must protect them. And clearly this president and this Secretary of Defense are doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly are, if you will, doubling down on our forces there. But, you know, I think what was more troubling to me from a policy perspective was this armed Russian fighter jet that flew within 5 feet of the U.S. plane. That's Russian aggression that we haven't seen for a long time, since the Cold War, correct me if I'm wrong. And then we also, you know, here we are trying to like open these channels with the Russians, and you know, and sanctions are being debated in Congress against the Russians. What do you think of all of this?
Well, I think that pilot got orders from Moscow. Now, I was involved, probably have the record for the most intercepts when I was a commander of the Alaska NORAD region back during the Cold War. And they just don't violate those protocols without some thought and guidance. They're very tightly controlled as well. I believe it came from Moscow, and they're trying to send us a signal. We've been flying these, we call them rivet joint flights, electronic reconnaissance flights in the Baltic for many, many, many years, as well as out in the Pacific. And so I'm very disturbed about that. I think it may be just they're waiting for our reaction, but the fact is it's not a good sign.
Do you think that the Russians are trying to bait President Trump? Do you think that that's at all happening here?
Well, I think they're trying to look like a little muscular and flex their muscles. They know what he thinks. They're testing him in different parts of the world. That's a NATO region. That's a NATO mission. So they're also looking at our NATO allies and seeing what they're saying. And so,
My personal opinion is don't be pushing the president. Don't be pushing the USA. I think we've tolerated enough over there. I know people are going to say, yeah, the war dogs this, the warmongers that. But the bottom line is, if you keep letting these people walk all over you, we're not going to have no respect. They're not going to respect us or fear us. So personally, if they're going to do these kind of things, we need to smack them back. And I think that's exactly what happened with the drone today. I'm going to let you hear it out of the president real quick here.
Before I begin, I want to apprise everyone of an incident in the Strait of Hormuz today involving USS Boxer, a Navy amphibious assault ship. The Boxer took defensive action against an Iranian drone which had closed into a very, very near distance, approximately 1,000 yards, ignoring multiple calls to stand down, and was threatening the safety of the ship and the ship's crew. The drone was immediately destroyed. This is the latest of many provocative and hostile actions by Iran against vessels operating in international waters. The United States reserves the right to defend our personnel, our facilities, and interests, and calls upon all nations to condemn Iran's attempts to disrupt freedom of navigation and global commerce. I also call on other nations to protect their ships as they go through the strait and to work with us in the future. Thank you very much. I thought you should know that.
And with that being said, this is Healthcare Sucks, telling you, like I said at the beginning, things are escalating all over. Russia cannot be doing these flybys. This is going to 5 feet, or whatever they say. Come on, guys. Eventually somebody's going to screw up and shit's going to hit the fan. And with that being said, remember, healthcare sucks. Over and out. I'll be back if anything else happens.